This is the Team Objection Podcast for August 15th, 2023, episode 587. And Dave,
where the fuck did
who
he
was
go?
here, is gone.
Here.
Oh, there he is.
I still can't see you.
Oh, I gotta share that still.
Oops.
Well, we'll work on it. I think that's right. Sure.
It is.
It's gonna mess with Dave's camera. I don't need to see my screen share. Thank you.
Here.
And here we are,
Who's scared?
fixing it live.
All right.
Disparaging things I could say I will keep to myself. So, on the screen, you can see the thing. You can see the thing. Why Fast or Furious is the episode title? Because either you get your food quickly at these places or you get big mad.
That makes sense.
It's not actually going to be a Fast 10 review as much as Sean would love that. He's not here anyways. He was supposed to have been, and then other things happened. Then he's going to go in Hawaii. Then he's going to go burn to death on Maui. And then who knows after
He
that.
shouldn't. He's not allowed to go to Hawaii right now. He has to cancel that trip.
How is he going to go to Hawaii?
He's not allowed to
That's
go.
They were actually going to Maui. So that involves some changes.
Not now, they
ago. Yeah. And I was looking at going to Maui because I haven't been either. I went to Oahu and Hawaii the last time I went, the Big Island. And I was thinking about trying to go in October. And nope.
Well, and you heard the conspiracy now, right? Is that this is all, planned. All these fires are very suspicious, is what the everyone's saying
right.
nowadays.
Like, why aren't the trees burning?
Was there jet fuel involved? Is that
Sure.
also part of it?
Steel beams.
But it doesn't melt steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thoughts go out to people on Maui because that is devastating. And we see a lot of devastating wildfires with climate change seems to be happening all the time, especially in California and Oregon and even Arizona, but not quite like this because there was nowhere to go. So enough about that. Let's get to the topic. I'm going to scroll down here for our video viewers so you can see the list. It's a tier list, but it's going to look vaguely familiar because if you remember, about 19 months ago, we tackled the whole fast food industry and a little bit of extra in a tournament back then. All four of us were there for it. That one was a little bit separate because we had like different corners of the bracket. So there was a fast food corner, but there was also like a sit down and a pizza and like a dessert / whatever else was in the Dairy Queen and Baskin Robbins bracket. This one has a more specific focus. It's essentially everything that you can get quickly. That includes some of the medium tier places. So, Chipotle's on here. Panda Express, some of the things that are like slightly above fast food, but still, it's a place you're supposed to be able to walk in and order and then get on your way.
I feel like, so Habit's not on here. I can tell right away. I feel like Habit and Shake Shack are similar. So that's interesting that that's the way they tried to gauge it in a way.
Now, what I've done with this is essentially you may see up here, for example, there are different tiers than normal. Normally we've been going like S, A, B, C, D. We haven't really had an F tier. This one has the best up top, and then B, C, D, F, and then never had, which is going to be convenient because I think there's at least 4 or 5 on this list that none of us have even heard of, let alone had. We'll get to those.
The ridiculousness of the East Coast stuff that we are just not familiar with because we're all West Coast people.
Yes.
I also, given our experience during COVID, find it very funny that Portillo's is on there, of all fucking things.
It's going to get slammed because of it.
Which, to be fair, I did eat at last week and was delicious again because I didn't have to wait for 2 hours for it. But that's a fun story.
So essentially, this is like the best fast food and casual restaurants is the way we're going to theme this. And they're all listed down here in alphabetical order, but we're not going to tackle them in that order. We can kind of go about them as, once again, people nominate them. I think this is the way that makes the most sense. We might tackle them in small groups like, hey, let's talk about the chicken ones or whatever. But we're just going to get to the ones we care about. We'll throw a couple in never had, and we'll probably ignore a couple if we don't care about them. But let's get into it.
Let's just throw a couple never hads real quick. Just like Jobilee, I have no clue. I don't know what that is. I've never had it. Swenson's, nope.
Jollibee's I've heard of, but I've never been.
I don't know what Penn Station is.
So let's see. Jollibee, never had. Swenson's, never had. I mean, Cody, if you've had one of these, stop me. But
yeah, I'm looking through. I wish I had Skyline Chili, but I haven't been to Cincinnati yet to be able to eat that.
Subway, what the hell is that? What?
Yeah, Subway, what the fuck?
What is Zaxby's?
I love Torchy's Tacos, which I believe is in Texas. That is, funny enough, the mascot of my favorite slot machine as a degenerate gambler in Las Vegas. They have the same exact Fire Baby as I refer to it, but I've never had Torchy's Tacos.
It's here in Phoenix now. It's right in my work. Yes, I've had it multiple times.
Is it good?
Well, then we'll leave it.
Excellent. I will get
what
into
level
it.
of white people taco is it? Like from...
oh, It's definitely A tier white people taco.
Okay, so like better than Del Taco and like Taco Bell type of white people tacos,
I mean,
but like
so
a little more Mexican.
Yes, you can get a piece of fried chicken, cheddar cheese, spinach, and green chilies with like bacon jam and a tortilla. So
That's
it's very
pretty
white,
white.
very good. It's very tasty, but it's pretty white people.
Okay.
I'm going to go through a handful more that I haven't had so that if somebody else has them, we throw it out. Cookout?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, if you guess are you going through?
I'm just going alphabetically.
Okay.
Because if I've heard of one of these, I'm not putting in never had. Or if I've had it, that is not heard of. I looked at, where did it go? It moved Moe's.
I don't know what Moe's Southwest Grill is.
I've heard of Moe's, but never been there.
Okay.
Don't know what PDQ is.
Don't know what that is either.
Don't know what Penn Station East Coast Subs is, as we live on the West Coast.
Have heard of it, but never been.
I've heard of Potbelly. I have not been there.
Same.
Been there.
You have been there?
I have, yes.
Okay, then we'll leave it. Put it back.
Roy Rogers? Nope.
Roy Rogers I've certainly heard of, but
yeah, have managed to not eat at it.
Never been.
Shits or sheets, I don't know what that is.
I think you said it correctly.
What an unfortunate name.
And Skyline Chili?
The Skyline Chili.
But...
And Wawa, I also know is an East Coast thing.
Been there.
I almost want to just leave them down here so it doesn't disturb the height of our tier list.
Yeah,
so we might leave these last two here and put them in at the very end.
There's only 2 or 3 more I haven't had. Taco Cabana, Wawa, and Wings.
Wings over.
With nice chicken logo. I will give them credit for that.
Clean logo. But anyways.
Everything else I've eaten because I'm fat. So.
That eliminates essentially 12 of these up front, which makes it much easier to go through the rest, especially as we're looking for them. They're still in alphabetical order, so now it's kind of dealer's choice. Where do you want to go here?
Let's start at the top and move along, people. A&W.
A&W.
When's the last time you had A&W?
I want to say it was like an airport like 10 years ago or something. Like, I don't have it frequently. I don't know of many locations, and there's not a lot of them.
There is one in Boulder City, Nevada, which I had gone to a couple times on the drive to Vegas. Then they built a freeway that bypasses it, and I have not been to it ever since, unfortunately.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I used to go through Boulder City and actually stop and like get a soda or get a snack, and now Boulder City's like, who knows about Boulder City?
Unfortunately, the 11, I believe it is, totally bypasses that, which gets me to Vegas 15 minutes quicker.
Yeah, it's not only bypasses it, it actually goes like a farther distance around it.
Yes,
but still faster.
I just drove past one on my way through Holbrook over the weekend. It wasn't open. So, because I was thinking about maybe going there. I was like, God, I haven't been in A&W for like 5 years. And, you can get a float or something or a malt or a shake. And it wasn't open. So that was not a great impression. But nonetheless, I've been there before besides that time.
I feel like in terms of like, because I've had the burger and fries. I think I've actually had the fish from it because I was being really weird and wanted to try it. I think from a burger perspective, it's better than a handful of like the fast food places like that. I think it tastes better than Burger King. I think when I ate it,
but Burger King is not a high bar.
No, I know. I'm not giving it a high bar. I'm just saying I've had it and it wasn't awful. Was pretty much what I was going with.
Yeah, I would probably. I'm not a big root beer float fan, and I know that's kind of like their claim to fame with A&W.
Oh, because that's the soda. I don't know. I mean,
exactly.
I haven't heard of it actually.
Yeah, I mean A&W root beer is a big thing. But Cody's right. The burger was okay. The fries are the crinkle cut fries, which are pretty decent, if I remember right. I would probably put this on a C tier myself.
That's probably exactly where I would say.
I have it in C. It's like the very definition of average.
Yep.
You can do a lot worse, but
average and well okay.
If you'd like to stay on topic which I don't know if you guys have eaten, very similar to Checkers actually, which I had when I was in New York City one time.
I have Checkers above A&W in my head. That's also Rallies. We're folding them together. They're Checkers. Identical, other than the name being slightly different.
It's the Carl's Jr. Hardee's bullshit.
Correct. So I had them in like low B.
Okay.
If A&W is in C, because I think their food is just slightly better overall.
I unfortunately have to say I don't really have a good recollection of it because one day after I ate Checkers, I ate Popeyes for the first time, and I'll get to that. So.
Well, I guess we're just doing Checkers now, or Rallies as I know it here. Their fries are on top of one of the top of the list. So I'd say a B here.
I think it's a B because I think the rest of their menu is okay. Yeah. There's a couple of good burgers. The hot dogs are pretty solid. The fries are a step above A&W, which is why this has to be a tier above it. Because you've seen them in stores now. You can buy these fries because they're so popular. You don't see A&W fries because nobody cares.
I was going to say, they must be popular enough since those started showing up like a couple years ago, I believe, right?
The seasoning on those fries is just phenomenal. Maybe I'm just a flavor whore, but they're so good.
Yeah, but that's the important thing about fries. If you don't season them, then they're just like shitty potato Like
they're just
things.
fried potatoes. Who wants that?
Potatoes don't actually taste super good by themselves, so.
And by the way, one of the reasons we follow this tier list, because I could modify it, is because then we can look at the community ratings. There are almost 3,000 of these that have been done as tier lists, and we get to contribute to this as well, which is kind of neat.
I did not know that.
So I'll go. I keep forgetting to give these as we're doing them. So Checkers is an F.
Wow.
Oh.
So that's something, isn't it?
I have a feeling like most of this shit's F's because everyone just shits on fast food, and then even though you could go and eat it.
F is the biggest tier, but
shocker.
It's close to never had, and there's still a decent amount of stuff in each tier above it.
I love the idea that people say they hate and will shit on is the stuff that they will just go to at 1 o'clock in the morning because what else are you gonna do?
That's
and
right.
they secretly like it.
And A&W also an F, so it's a rough start for the community rankings.
That figures. And
so here's going to be the real polarizing one, because those who like to follow the trends will put Arby's at an F. Those who know, however,
it's real ones.
That's fucking right.
The real ones, it's all the way at the top for me. It's fucking fantastic.
I don't know if I can say fucking fantastic, but Dave and I are in like pretty much lockstep agreement that Arby's is not fucking terrible like the internet wants you to believe.
I don't know where this started. I don't know where people thought, oh, Arby's is the worst thing. I mean, The Simpsons did a joke about it 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. I'm so hungry, I could eat at Arby's. Oh, man, that is hungry. That's what they said.
Yeah, well, then the hipsters jump on that, and they want to go with that's what they've ever heard, and then you just get to be part of the crowd that makes fun of it.
The roast beef sandwich is great.
I also think Arby's menu has gotten better over time.
Uh-huh.
They've culled some of the weak stuff out of there, and they've added a few things that are decent. I'm not a huge Arby's guy, but I will concede that I think I'm lower on them than I should be. I don't know if I can qualify this as the best.
No,
I'm happy to put it in high B.
I think it should be in B. I'm sure that the internet's fucking little rating thing is going to have it in F or D.
Arby's.
R, B tier.
It's in C.
That's
so
I'm actually shocked the internet didn't like blast
Which means it's probably got that disparity. It's probably got some of the bests from the real ones and some Fs, like you mentioned, and it averages out to a C.
So another Arby's thing. I mean, the fries. Their curly fries are just so good. Put that in some Arby's sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, and
good
unlike somebody else that has curly fries, Jack in the Box, there's a lot of other things on the menu that are good too, and not just that. So that's something.
Again, as a very fat person, and will chime in with how useful the apps are for all of these restaurants as we go through. Arby's app is really good because it basically has $3 off of 10 at every moment. And with how expensive fast food is, $10 is basically what you're going to spend. So you just get $3 off immediately if you just do it through the app. Sometimes it's also like, it's like 10 off of 30. So you can be really fat and order more food than you need and have extra shit. Now the problem is Arby's food can't really hold up. But
yeah, you got to eat it quick. But that's true of a lot of fast food. That's not just exclusive to Arby's, but Arby's, I think, does suffer close to the most if you don't eat it within like 20 minutes.
Dave, have you eaten one of their burgers? I'm curious if you had tried that.
Yeah, I actually had like their Wagyu burger, Wagyu beef burger they had a while ago, which was really good. It was really good. Like, it's not like steakhouse level Wagyu beef, but pretty damn good.
But it was more like a sit-down restaurant, like Red Robin-y type burger than it was like the McDonald's or Burger King type of style one.
Exactly, and the sauce and stuff they put on are great.
I think for the sake of time, we should knock out some of the big ones in succession rather than jumping around, and then we'll get to some genres of stuff. So I'm thinking Burger King, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, those type of things. We all hit in unison right here.
Sure.
Burger King, I think, is an F.
Yep. It is the worst of the major burger places, and I don't think it's particularly close. And that's, again, with having been basically food poisoned by Jack in the Box, I don't know, like 20 times, and I still think it's better than Burger King.
There's something... I used to love Burger King. They did something to their oil that they cook in the past 10 years, because I remember being a kid and their fried, like, they had a original chicken sandwich with just a fried chicken patty, and their french fries were phenomenal. Like, I really, really liked them a lot, and something changed in the last 10, 15 years.
I do feel like I remember the fries being, again, the best thing that they had to offer.
They also changed their formula.
Yeah.
They're one of the two that we're going to get to, Wendy's, that did that in recent memory. I also used to love their onion rings. In fact, I actually like onion rings quite a bit flavor-wise, but sometimes I don't love the huge ones if it's the type of batter that just falls off the second you try and eat it. I find that to be a pain in the ass, and since Burger Kings were smaller, that never really happened there, so I liked them. Now I can't eat them without getting sick. So the one thing that I had that was redeeming for me about Burger King is gone.
And Carl's Jr.'s onion rings are better than Burger King's anyway, so...
I will say Burger King's burgers themselves, the Whopper is decent. Like, they do kind of have that, it's cooked on flame grill versus like the electric grill, which you can tell a little. It doesn't overcome the horribleness of the rest of anything fried at Burger King is terrible. The burger is okay though, but still it's enough.
Again, doesn't Carl's Jr. also do that and then by extension do it better? Because I feel like they have charbroiled ones as well.
They sure do.
They sure do.
I guess we could just transition to Carl's Jr.
Should we just rank Carl's Jr.?
Which you could put at C, in my opinion.
For Carl's Jr.?
Yes.
I'm going to put it above A&W, though.
It has weird stuff on its menu that I like quite a bit. It also has probably, I guess maybe Wendy's is better now, but like it was the second best breakfast, like fast food breakfast behind McDonald's for a long time. I haven't had it for a long time because we don't have Carl's Jr. here anymore.
Yeah, it just kind of up and left.
It just, disappeared.
I'm appreciative of Carl's Jr. for some of the risks they've taken over the years. The commercials are dumb but they made a splash, so whatever, they made a splash. They were dumb, but some of the things that they did, like, hey, we're gonna make a 1-pound burger. You want to come and eat a pound of meat? Have at it, guys. I did that once when I was 19. It was actually pretty damn good. I find it the irony of their big thing was the $6 burger, saying how fancy the $6 burger was. I'm like, yeah, well, a quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's is $7 now, so
yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Like the $5 footlong.
Yes,
that's never coming back. It should be like $12 now.
Carl's Jr. did also make me very happy as a child because they shaped their chicken nuggets in the shape of a star, which means I can dip every single point of the star into a different dipping sauce and then eat it because I was a child, and I still have done this when I've gone to Carl's Jr. And it just makes me happy. Those chicken stars are the equivalent of frozen like nuggets that you would get at the grocery store, but they're in the shape of a star, and it just made you happy as a child, or me, I guess.
Just me.
You. All right, fine. Well, you wouldn't even see, so I got what I wanted.
I have Jack in the Box and F. Anybody want to fight me on this?
Not anymore.
I could be talked into D. It's definitely low. For some reason, I have a really good memory of like the bacon ultimate cheeseburger. I think I was like feeling sick one day and had it, and it was just so good when I had it that one day. And I've got like this memory in my mind of that. But I definitely have gotten sick from eating there before, which is always a bad sign. So it's kind of been canceled out. It's definitely a D or an F. Me personally would be D, but I could be talked into F.
I really liked, again, I guess it's been like almost a decade now, them embracing the stoner thing of making the weird late night meals and mushing a bunch of shit together. And it used to actually be a decent price. And now I think the new one is like with Snoop Dogg. And I think I glanced at what the price was. And it was like $12. And I'm like, so I'm getting this weird ass meal that you're just concocting a bunch of bullshit together. And you're going to charge me like it's like the premium fancy normal meal thing. And that used to be a fun idea when it was really cheap. And now it just sucks. And their price has gone up with everyone else's while it continues to end up making me sick. So I don't really eat there basically at all anymore.
The question is, how do you feel about the tacos? Because that was the claim to fame for a long time, was the tacos.
They used, again, maybe just me getting older, I used to eat them all the time and eat like 10 of them because I was like in my early 20s and it was fine. I think if I eat one or two now, I'm basically in the bathroom for like an hour after that. So I don't think I can eat them anymore. Unfortunately, that's just how bad it is, and that's why I'm not fighting Chris on putting it in F.
Yeah, I feel a little bad because I do have some good memories of it, but
we can always look it over later. At the end of the last tier list, we made a couple of adjustments last minute. It's on the high side of F.
They've also
move.
They pulled good stuff off their menu. They used to have like the ciabatta sandwich burgers or sandwiches or whatever that were good.
Ciabatta.
Their chicken strips used to be the best of any of the fast food restaurants.
That's one of the reasons I don't like them anymore. The fries are still good, but I'm not going to go to a place just for fries. That doesn't happen.
So yeah, I think like a couple years ago I would have tried to argue that they were like in C, but I can't do that anymore.
So we have Carl's Jr. in C. It was a C. We have Jack in the Box in F. It was a D among the group.
It's California people.
Burger King was a B for Burger King.
That's because people are.
Well, there's some bad rankings on this list. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. This is our attempt to help balance it out. You see.
Good Lord.
So now McDonald's or Wendy's?
Wendy's, I think, should be next. Wendy's 10 to 15 years ago would have been the best because I ate there 2 to 4 times a week when I was in college. Because chicken nuggets and a Frosty and fries you could get for like $5 or $6. And that price seems incomprehensible in today's economy. But back then, it was like, wow, I really like this. It's right by campus. And they also changed their fries for the worse. And as such, I have to put them in like D or something, which breaks my heart. But that's how far they've dropped. I will not go. I have not been there in 5 or 6 years.
Now they betrayed me by taking the 4 for $4 and the biggie bag away, and now it's $7 and $8 in Flagstaff which is just the equivalent of what a fucking regular meal is. So it's not a good deal anymore. So they hurt my feelings. So I wouldn't put them as high as I previously would have. But I was going to suggest C above Carl's Jr.
I can be talked into it just because of my past memories of them and how important they were to me. But again, I don't eat there anymore.
I had always felt, it goes back, and it still I think holds up now. Their burgers have just tasted a little fresher than like McDonald's
Fresh, never frozen,
or Burger King's have,
and they're square.
And which is still weird.
Yeah.
But like they're like I always like Carl's Jr.'s also tasted pretty fresh versus some of the other ones, which is why I kind of associate Wendy's close with them. Dave?
I'd honestly put them in B as far as the remaining like burger places that are on here. They're up there. It's still good to me. Yes, the 4 for $4 deal was fantastic, and I did always loved their value menu more than most places. But their breakfast at Wendy's is actually really good.
It's the best fast food one now.
It is, and it's stunning because I don't think they had breakfast up until like
3 years ago. They started it right around when March Madness happened, and they used that as the promo time for it. I think 2 or 3 years ago. It's very good.
Their potato wedges for breakfast. They have a maple bacon chicken sandwich. It's really good stuff.
They very crucial thing. They brought French toast sticks back, which not enough fast food restaurants have anymore. Even though I'm like, this cannot be a fucking difficult thing to have on your damn menu.
No.
And yet they finally brought them back, and they're pretty good there.
Yeah.
And this is where I can't really contribute. I don't eat fast food breakfast.
Oh, and I do all the time.
So I have nothing
too
to
much.
add. I'm fine with it in B.
Okay.
If you guys, I saw your guys' reaction to my D, and I'm fair. It's a group thing, and I wish it wasn't down there for me, but it is because I have no desire to eat there.
What did the community say on Wendy's? Probably
this is the best.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the best. I actually believe the reputation of it is pretty good online from what I've normally seen.
How much of that is their social media team?
I think a decent chunk of it because the social media team's funny and engages with them.
And again, as always with any kind of group polling, you have to consider who are the target audience. And in this case, they're the people who are willing to do online tier lists, which means it skews young. So they're more influenced by social media than others might be. So that is a factor.
I mean, to Dave's point, though, I do think Wendy's has been hurt by all these price raises more than maybe anyone but McDonald's, since McDonald's tried to brag about the dollar menu for so long. And it's really, really hurt Wendy's versus everyone else.
That's our first of 7 that the group list has in the best. So we're going to see where we go from there.
Interesting.
McDonald's.
An F.
I know Dave hates it.
I fucking hate him.
I don't hate McDonald's.
McDonald's has been going inversely with Wendy's for me the last few years. Their app, as alluded to by Cody earlier, is a large part of that reason because it's another one of those places where I know I can get lunch for like $7 instead of $15. And that's important to me. Even though I can afford a $15 lunch now, it doesn't mean I want to. Now, I'm not going to sit there and pretend the food's phenomenal or anything, but I will tell you this much. Between the app giving me discounts and also making the ordering super simple to where I drive into the parking lot, they hand me a bag and I go, so the food's always hot. That made a huge difference because, cold McDonald's fries, blech, awful, hate them. Fresh every time fries has been a revelation for me. Now, I'm not going to tell you I'm putting them in the best, but I'd have it B or C, so we're going to have to kind of balance out Dave's F here.
Yeah, Wendy's app also is still pretty good and still does a decent job.
I haven't been since they've really developed it that much, so I don't know.
It's still pretty good. It's not as good. McDonald's is the best one. The only shitty part of McDonald's is you can't combine deal and points that you redeem, which is really frustrating.
Yes.
And Wendy's lets you fucking do that. And it's the one thing that I still go to Wendy's more often than sometimes than McDonald's because of that reason.
So my temptation is to put it in highest C.
I would agree because
we're higher on it than Dave, but we need to reflect his vote of an F. So
and you only voted a D for Wendy's, so the same balances out.
Yeah.
Dave, the problem is that McDonald's is fresh, right off of the fryer fries are going to be better than basically anything that any of these restaurants can offer.
Oh, look, I worked there. I know what fresh hot off the fryer fries are. I literally picked them out of the basket and ate them. You can't get fresher than this.
That's theft.
Oh, yeah.
Crimes admitted to on stream live in front of an audience.
Lots of food eaten at McDonald's.
See, but you worked there. That means you're gonna hate it more than everybody else. If I fucking worked at any of these places, I'd hate it.
Actually, my hatred of it came well after I started working there. For years, even in college, I was like, yeah, McDonald's fine. I have no problem with it. The problem happened was really the value menu stuff because they were always a good value. Now, like I said, you want to get a 10-piece nugget combo meal, it's $11.
You have to have
for
the app.
10 nuggets.
Dave,
I know
without the app, there's no chance.
Dave, you don't like paying $4.19 for a McDouble? That doesn't appeal to you? When that sandwich used to be $2 like 3 years ago.
I remember when the Big and Tasty was $1. It was like, oh my god!
Rest in peace.
The quarter-pound burger for $1. It was great. Yeah. Well,
the Big and Tasty, basically the Whopper.
Yeah.
Group had McDonald's in the best.
That's because that's not surprising.
So that's our second.
I really want to quit right now. This hurts.
Mr. Orange in chat says Burger King and F. What about the fiery nuggets? Well, the F is for fiery nuggets, so there you go.
Well, Wendy's had spicy nuggets, and they take them back and forth, and they I think they're still there right now, and they're better. So there.
Yeah. All right, we went through some of the biggest chains and knocked them out. I think it's time to dip into some genres. I think we should go.
Can I do Waffle House? Because I just ate Waffle House for the first time.
Okay, that's right. You've been meaning to do that, so sure, go ahead.
Yep.
It was shockingly good.
Stunningly good. I've had it.
So I went because it was like 1 block away from the concert I went to. And I'm like, let's just try weird shit. So I got a waffle with peanut butter chips on it. Now, Waffle House isn't as cheap as I think it used to be because that waffle was like $5.25 down in Phoenix, and adding peanut butter chips is like 50 cents or whatever. But holy shit, I can't imagine why late at night when drunk people go there. That shit is amazing. And also, it's a very tiny little diner style, and the food was indeed ready fucking quick. And the best part was, as a food item was ready, they just brought it to you. So I ordered like 3 things, and one came and I ate some of it. The next one came and I ate some of it, and it was fucking awesome. I fully intend to go back because I'm going to the same concert venue 2 more times, and we'll probably go to Waffle House again because I just was so satisfied by how actually good it was and that it held up.
I wish more places would adopt that policy because there's nothing worse, especially more of a sit-down setting like a Waffle House, than when you can tell your dish was sitting under the heat lamp because it was done more quickly. I'm like, I'm not going to be offended if somebody in my group gets their food a little earlier than I am. Just bring it out. That's great. And they can enjoy it, and then 5 minutes later I'll get mine, and mine will be fresh, and everybody's happy.
I ordered 2 waffles. The person I was with ordered 2 waffles. There's only 2 waffle cooker things. So they each made us one and brought us a waffle, and then made us another waffle and brought it again. And I'm like, this is my favorite thing. Just continue to progressively give me food like it's a fucking buffet.
Without, the disease that a buffet brings.
Exactly. I mean, maybe there might be disease in Waffle Houses. Look, some of them are not the nicest. But again, I was blown away by how good it was.
That's the best description I could possibly give on Waffle House is how I was blown away by when I ate there. Like, their hash browns are like, oh, these are really good. Like, I cannot believe how good
I got an order of them. I regretted not putting chili on them because that seemed like a weird thing that I would enjoy. And there's like enough weird customization things. And I'm like, you can kind of get creative. And like, there's like 6 basic staple menu items. And then you can just fuck with it and try a bunch of weird things like having a peanut butter chipped waffle.
That reminds me of why I like another place in this list that I will absolutely be fighting for to be the best later on. But I would put Waffle House in the best. It's stunningly good.
What about you, Cody?
I mean, maybe I'm just smitten right now because it's been like 3 weeks since I recency bias. But if I have full intent to go to it again, and if I get the same nice experience, I'm just going to keep believing it's the best. And so, yes, it absolutely can be up there.
I'll put it in the best. I've only been twice, but both times were good. So
I also like waffles. It's the best breakfast food, so I'm a sucker for that. So.
At a certain point, we got to put a few things up in the best. I have my eyes on a couple targets as well, but we need to balance that out. We're not only putting one up there, and clearly this list didn't either as a group. So
I'm about 4.
Group has Waffle House and D. So
that's because there's assaults at Waffle House all the time. Like,
there's chairs being thrown and then parried with one hand. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Let's knock out the pizzas real quick.
Shit.
Does anybody want to not put some of these in F? So like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
Domino's does not belong in F. They've surprisingly gotten a lot better.
It's gotten worse.
15 years ago, Domino's would have been F.
It's gotten worse. I don't know how we have the complete contrasting opinion, but Domino's in high school to me was amazing. That unfortunately is 17 years ago now.
No.
But it's gotten so much worse to me. Also, specifically the one in Flagstaff that I had been to was just bad most of the time. I'm fine with it in D where Chris just placed it because I can create pizzas there that are decent as I formerly did.
Which can be the downside is if your local location sucks. It's going to kind of taint your view of it, which happened with, I was just looking at what on the list. What the hell was it?
John's?
No, the one up here that I thought was bad. Oh, the Sonic. The Sonic up here on our side of town I don't especially like. And I've liked Sonic in other locations, but every time I go to this one, I'm like, eh. So like that can make a big difference on how you view a place. It's just the one that's near you sucks. Well,
I guess that's where I'm lucky of the largeness of Phoenix because I have like 4 Domino's. It's within like 5 miles of me.
So
It's
if one
kind of
pisses you off, you can go to the next one.
pretty much, yeah. Pizza Hut's an F. Like they used to be so good.
Exactly. I would same thing. I am very sad that I feel like it's gone so downhill.
I put Domino's in D, as they alluded to, because D for Domino's. And then I was going to put Papa John's in D. For a long time, that would have been F because it was oversaturated because of our partnership from them with the Lumberjack. So for years, much like Dave's story that he's told for a long time about winning, pizzas for every week for a year or whatever, it was too much. But now that I haven't gone there in a while, I'm like, it's okay. It's not good.
I actually got it last weekend. I was surprised. It was one of those like,
in fact,
I didn't want to get Domino's and other pizza places are way too expensive. Like I hate when you fancier pizza places, they're like $25 for a large pepperoni. It's like, it's $25. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Papa John's is $10 for a large pepperoni. Like, I can get 2 of them and still have more money.
Little Caesars is an F.
I so disagree. I love Little Caesars. I love them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an F because I think it's better than Papa John's and Domino's.
Fine, we'll put it in C for Caesars.
I mean, that's really high. I mean, you didn't have to go all the way up.
No, that's it. You want to go to bat for something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I look, Pizza Hut's terrible, but its crust is better than all of those ones. But I'm also not eating pizza just for a fucking.
I will
piece of
say
crust.
this much at least: Little Caesars is cheaper and faster than any of these either, so that's a plus.
That's mostly it. Is I think they're all so bad now, and then granted, Little Caesars is now like $8 itself. It's not like $5 anymore. But I don't know. I really don't eat at any of them because I don't think any of them are good enough to eat at. I just eat pizza when it's like nice and fancy now, basically.
Yeah.
What was there a better deal back like college or post college? $5 hot and ready. You walked in with a $5 bill and here's a pepperoni pizza immediately.
Yes.
Like holy shit.
And
that
Crazy
was
Bread was like $1.25 with the sauce, so I could walk out with a whole fucking meal for like $7.
There was a Little Caesars in the plaza where the Bashes was, so when I was working, it was nice to be able to just walk over there. If I didn't want food from the fucking grocery store deli for the 900th time.
It was over there back then? God.
I was there in Phoenix.
In
Phoenix.
Phoenix. I was like in Flagstaff?
No, I know that's before you met me, but
I was confused because I'm like, there's a Pizza Hut near Bashas now.
Cody, rank Sbarro.
Sbarro?
You love Sbarro.
I do like Sbarro.
You won't shut the fuck up about Sbarro.
Cody, the S is for sucks. Come on, Sbarro's not good.
It's not really. I mean,
Is it worse than Pizza Hut?
No, it's not worse than Pizza Hut. I mean, it's probably right around in D, at the end of D. I think.
Okay.
I think I haven't been to an Sbarro in.
No, you know what? I'm
actually
putting it
a
above
decade.
Domino's.
And actually a decade now, because I used to go to it all the time in high school. It was in the mall, unsurprisingly, that I always went to and hung around at, like a degenerate. And I ate at it all the time because it was right next to Hot Topic, so it was great. It was great for me as a little emo kid in high school that I could go get my pizza and look at my band T-shirts. I don't know what it tastes like anymore. When's the last time you had it? Dave doesn't sound like he's ever had it.
Sbarro, I used to work in the mall. Sbarro, I had it. I worked in the mall. I had it so much, so frequently, that maybe that's part of it. But it's it's overpriced and shitty.
Well, it wasn't overpriced for me back then. It was cheap. I didn't have to buy a whole fucking pizza.
Well, yeah, you can buy a slice for $3. Great, but $4 like, ugh.
I hope you guys are prepared for some disappointment. So, as I run down the list, I say these for the end on purpose. Domino's is in the best.
Shocker.
Pizza Hut's in B. Little Caesars is in B. Papa John's is in B. Sbarro's is in F.
I mean, people apparently really like their pizzas. The one, I guess I shit on Domino's because it doesn't taste good. The one difference is when you do its little deal, it's like $5.99 for a medium one-topping pizza. It's probably the only good deal left, I guess, unless you're getting Papa John's for. Do we still do the codes for the Cardinals and D-backs and all that shit here?
Don't do anymore.
Are they gone now? Yeah, so it's not even as good of a deal as it used to be.
Domino's has the carryout, one large one-topping pizza for $8. Like
Domino's is the place, honestly, price-wise, as much as I used to think Little Caesars was. It's the only one that's still a good-ish deal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Domino's used to have their deal used to be large 3-topping for $8. Yeah.
So I can see why the internet would love it and want to put it in the best, partially because of that.
And if you're in college or whatever and you're trying to get just bulk, if you've got a bunch of hungry kids and you're like, well, we need to get 4 pizzas for $30. Well, then by all means, because you're going to get like one for that price.
It's literally what you did at our work meetings.
Yeah, like at least I could then, especially back then when I was like, I can't afford this shit, but I want to bring something in for the people. So it has its merits. But as far as like an overall experience, am I ever eager to go there? Am I ever chomping at the bit? No. There's local places I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be so good when we get pizza from there. It's not any of these.
That's the one thing. Is like I think pizza more than any of these like genres of food is the one that I'm gonna go to my local place and just get murdered for price because it's going to be so much better compared to like what the burger difference is.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Spinatos for me, where I'm like, God, Spinatos is so good, but it's so expensive.
So expensive. It's more expensive than anywhere else I've ever been, maybe.
Aros is a little bit more medium of that, where it's not as expensive, but still very good. So
yeah, I've talked myself out of it. I'm putting Domino's ahead of
Regular
Sbarro.
Barros. That's why I was actually trying to discuss the price thing, because I don't think Sbarro should be ahead of them.
Let's knock out some Mexican.
That's
all right.
Baja Fresh, El Pollo Loco, Del Taco, Taco Bell, Qdoba. That's right, Qdoba.
Okay. Qdoba, do they exist anymore? I have not
Yes.
seen one.
There's literally one on campus at NAU.
I have not seen one in a long time. But anyway, I'll start with that. Baja Fresh. Dwindling in locations, but really freaking good when they're on. Like when it's on, and I love it. I think it's really, really good.
It's a pretty good mix of like still being kind of Mexican food to some extent, while being pretty like whitened up for, you know, regular boring white people who don't like any spices or anything like that.
All of these are.
I mean, I haven't eaten it for a long time. I think the last time again was probably in Las Vegas, but I think it's better than every other one Chris just listed off.
I disagree on that wholeheartedly. There's at least two that I can put above it. At least two.
I personally have never actually eaten Qdoba, so I don't really have. I guess Chipotle counts in this too, doesn't it? Or do you want to get to that?
Sure.
To where I refuse that Chipotle is like the worst fucking thing in the world, and no one should ever get it.
Chipotle is on the best list by far. I don't know what you're talking about.
If I got rich, I'd buy Chipotle and fucking shut it down, is what I've stated for the extent of my lifetime. I can't fucking believe that anyone thinks it's as good as it is. It's not awful food. I just have never understood the In-N-Out level hype of why everyone thinks it's like the best fucking place on earth. I'll never understand it. And that comes from California, where you could fall over into a better Mexican restaurant that was cheaper. And I get why people in like Minnesota would want to eat fucking Chipotle. That's fine. There's no one up there that can make Mexican food. I don't understand why in California and Arizona anyone want to eat this shit.
Because the other option for fast Mexican food that's similarly priced is Filiberto's, right?
I mean, I can just go to any taqueria. They're not slow. It doesn't take long to make my taco and shit, or my burrito.
I'll say Chipotle, as far as what you get, for the speed you get, for the consistency you get, their meats are really good in there. The rice is made really well. It's consistently good.
I probably as a person who likes for Mexican food pretty like spicier meat, I just like every time I've eaten Chipotle, I'm like, this is kind of bland.
No, then you need to put more of the spices on it. So I don't know. I like spices and I prefer authentic Mexican food by all means, but I understand that this is a very whiteified Mexican meal.
Yeah.
Chipotle's
and white people are terrible. They ruin everything. So
I know. I agree. I'm a white person and agree with this. I would put it. I mean, on this tier list, out of this list, it's on the best tier because I don't know much, but it's better.
I don't think we can do that with Cody here.
Oh no.
Nope.
I was gonna put Baja Fresh in low B.
That's fair.
That's fine.
And then to somehow figure out the difference, I was going to put Chipotle on the highest C because
it probably has
Chipotle.
to be in B, because I'm not saying it's like I.
Well, here, I don't know if I love it either, to be honest.
Like if I was talking about it from my like getting rid of my bias hatred, I'd put it in D in terms of what I actually think of it. My hatred of its overhypeness makes it into F, but that's just being biased. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you can play into the overhype as far as like people swearing by it, because I don't know. I try to ignore that sometimes. Although there is one on this list that I absolutely am affected by, so I am a bit of a hypocrite.
Probably out, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
No, it's not actually.
Oh, interesting. That's mine. We'll get there.
But it's. I mean, they do what they do well.
It got really, really popular, especially in, for whatever reason, my circles when I was at my junior college before I came out to Arizona. And I looked at everyone and I'm like, we literally can walk around to anywhere and get a cheaper, better burrito so much quicker, to the point where I literally, for the student paper, I went around and fucking did that and reviewed a bunch of burritos from places because I was bitter. So me and my friend went around. We're like, let's go find better places and take good photography of it and say how good it is when it's like a mile off of campus at most. And yet everyone was like, let's go get Chipotle for lunch. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this here?
I mean, if you had a Wahoo's fish tacos, I would pick that over Chipotle. So
I've heard of that. I have never eaten there, but I've also, fish tacos, so it's better.
It's phenomenal. I love Wahoo's. Wahoo's is great. El Burrito Jr. is great out there in California. I don't know if you know LBJ, but it's very good. So yes, there are a lot of places in California that are very good.
Del Taco and D?
The best benefit is on Tuesday and Thursday nights, you can get like literally tacos that are tiny, and I can get like 10 of them for like $5 still. It's the one useful thing of it, which Taco Bell can't do anymore because it doesn't do anything like that, but it's mostly mediocre otherwise. So D seems fine.
I have fond memories of doing just that, Taco Tuesdays, especially they're like 3 for $1. That doesn't exist anymore, but like you said, it's one of the few like bulk deals you can find anymore.
Me personally, I think they still. I mean, if you want to pick the whitest of Mexican food, this is probably it.
Because they have crinkle cut fries.
Cheddar cheese on there.
My only argument to they're still whiter is they have a couple things on their menu that are actually spicy. Like they actually have a ton of flavor that doesn't come across as white. Their regular stuff, given again crinkle cut fries, burgers, and shit, is very, very white. You're right. It's just like there is a couple things on the menu that do make it decently not as white as it could be.
I would go C myself.
That's fine. D or C.
We'll see if it moves.
I don't think
it could move. Jack in the Box could move. We'll see. El Pollo Loco.
Love it.
I have literally never eaten it. Amazingly enough,
I have it in like low B.
Yeah, I'd put B. B is fair.
Okay.
I think it's actually
like that Mexican KFC basically.
In a way,
it's like it's family style eating where you can get big, sides and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, essentially.
They do a really good job. The seasoning on the chicken is really, really good. I think they overcook the chicken like a lot of fast food places do, which is unfortunate, but it's seasoned well, so it's good.
Yeah, and part of me wants to like flip that in Chipotle, but we'll see. We'll see.
You should.
We'll see. Qdoba.
Yeah,
indifferent. Is there an indifferent tier? I just haven't had it in so long. Like
that's what the indifferent tier is. D for Qdoba.
Indifferent.
All right, Taco Bell. I will fight anyone. It's the best on this list by far. Value, taste, everything. App experience. You want to get the best app experience. Taco Bell has the best app experience by far.
They reward you better than pretty much anybody for ordering. They right now they're back to doing a $5 like right now I think it's the $5 cravings box.
Yep.
The reverse of where Jack in the Box used to not make me sick and then always does now. Taco Bell used to make me pretty sick a lot when I ate it, and it actually has not been doing that anymore. I don't know why or how, but I have gone back to actually eating there decently because of the price of the box that is not as cheap as Del Taco's crappy little individual tacos, but you also still get like the versatility of getting one of their weird entree things mixed in the box. And more importantly, they have the greatest soda that has ever been invented available at their restaurant.
Don't say it. The mouthwash tasting soda?
It is the best soda there is.
God.
It is so fucking good.
You're talking about Baja Blast, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's so disgusting. It tastes like mouthwash. It tastes like Listerine. It's so bad.
Well, I like Listerine, so that's fine.
I
mean, yeah. I use Listerine every single night, so that's good.
Ugh. But they have Mountain Dew. They have I'm a Pepsi product fan. I don't know, like when people are like Pepsi or Coke. Oh, I have Pepsi. Well, then I don't want it. Nah, screw you guys. Pepsi's way better than Coke.
They are the only fast food place, other than maybe like Long John Silver, since they're owned by the same or were owned by the same company
as well.
That does that, right? Maybe A&W does, since I think they're in a weird space there, given that they don't, they're their own soda.
Yeah. I can't add to this. I don't drink soda. I don't know who has watched.
Well, again, that's important. Okay,
I put it up in the best without much hesitation, even though I'm not a huge Taco Bell fan myself. But I think for all the reasons Dave mentioned, even I'll give it its flowers.
It's individual things, like a cheesy gordita crunch is again better than anything Del Taco is going to give you, or better than anything Baja Fresh is going to give you. It's really fucking good, like the equivalent of like McDonald's fries. So it's a couple of things they've created are really, really good.
Going down the list from the group, Taco Bell isn't the best. It's our third entrant of the 7 that the group has there. Let's see. I saw the rest of them. Chipotle was in B.
I'm surprised I didn't get to the best.
This long of a pause is not a good sign for anything else. Qdoba's an F. Del Taco's an F. El Pollo Loco's an F. And Baja Fresh is in never had.
That's not surprising because the people who are doing that probably can't find a Baja Fresh anymore.
Yeah, they're dwindling.
Probably. Now, really quickly, we should touch on Taco Cabana and Torchy's Tacos.
Taco Bell never had.
Oh, that's right. We left that down there because we didn't have room for it. I'll put that at the end then, so I don't.
And Dave and I already had our Torchy's discussion.
Yeah, Torchy's is good. I would probably put it B. Honestly, I'd actually go C actually because it is overpriced. The tacos, like they're good, but they are like $7 for a taco.
Did you say D or B originally?
B.
I said B and then I said C.
Where would Cody have it?
I've never eaten it.
Oh.
I want to eat it. Well, I like its logo. It's funny.
If we've never eaten it, then it has to go to C.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that seems unfair, but like it's a group list, so
Cody, I think you would like their salsas and their they have a spicy queso dip that you can get with their chips.
See, that's the type of whiteified Mexican food I want. At least there's like some like good spice and flavor to it, and we haven't completely abandoned that.
Next time you're in Phoenix, we're getting Torchy's in.
Sounds good.
Hey, real quick, Denny's is an F.
Yeah, Denny's is
Bye, Denny's.
So do you want to just drag IHOP to a D then?
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yep, that's fair. Because IHOP is absolutely better than Denny's.
Yes.
But
okay, so I'm curious, is that a breakfast or an overall, like, I associate both these with breakfast more than anything.
Oh, Denny's non-breakfast at Denny's is a G.
Okay. That's what I was curious, because there's some Denny's breakfast stuff that I think is decent, but
sure.
I believe that IHOP's breakfast overall is probably better.
Denny's is the only place that's ever given me food poisoning multiple times. I have not been there since the second time. That was probably 13 years ago, and I will never go back. I would probably rather starve.
I really don't have any interest in eating at either of those places at all anymore. Because again, as Dave and I have already discussed, there's enough fast food places that have breakfast.
Yeah, you can find a diner-style breakfast in a lot of different places.
You know where you can find it? Waffle House.
Waffle House. That's correct. I want to look at a couple more candidates for the best, and specifically the next one I want to bring up is Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
I'm tipping my hand in the fact that I would have it in the best.
It is absolutely in the best. It is second to Taco Bell to me.
If it wasn't for all their unfortunate beliefs and politics that piss a lot of people off, I think that they would be at the In-N-Out like beloved level. Well, granted, again, In-N-Out's actually not as good as everyone tries to make it out to be, but I think that they would, internet wise and all that, it would basically be like loved by everyone, and it already is, because I think the last time I checked, it's like the best selling fast food, and it's not open one fucking day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I, again, unfortunately, absolutely agree, because also it's breakfast, it's biscuit, and it's chicken fillet with Chick-fil-A sauce. I've discovered is better, again, than any other breakfast thing there is. It's just really expensive compared to the other deals you can get for breakfast.
Their hash brown scramble bowl with the little chicken nuggets in it, and their tater tots and eggs and cheese. Wow. Yeah. That's really good stuff. Really good stuff. And app experience again. Holy moly, they're at it.
I mean, the fact that a lot of the local ones just give you something randomly. They're like, here, have a Chick-fil-A sandwich because you haven't been for 3 months. Over the last month, they did the Code Moo thing, where I got a free item every single week because I played their stupid little game they created, and that was awesome. I got basically a full meal across a week that was just given to me by tapping some things on my phone. Their point thing and their app stuff is all really good. I've never seen any place that's as busy as they are that still rolls my food out that fucking quickly.
Yeah, they got it down to a science.
And it's fresh like every single time.
Multiple order takers. The one in Flagstaff is in an especially bad location.
And we're opening a new one.
Tucked by campus. There's one on campus, but it doesn't help. There's still it's horrible to go there, but it's still the best for me.
For all the negative press they get, and deservedly so. I mean, their stances are archaic is the best, probably the nicest I can say with it. However, their treatment of their employees is phenomenal. They pay them really well. You can tell their employees, whether it's an act or not, they seem to want to be there, and they try hard and work hard, probably because you pay them well. In-N-Out's very similar in that sense, and it's one of those things another reason why, to me, McDonald's gets so low on this list is because of treatment of the workers. And I'm not a big, the government should force them, minimum wage rate. I'm not into that. I like the idea that I'm going to support a company that takes care of their workers, and that's how I'm going to drive better worker compensation, rather than going to McDonald's, which treats their workers like shit. So that's my piece.
I might be alone in this. I don't really care about Chick-fil-A's political views. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understand that for people who are more affected by it, who are marginalized by it, that's different, and I totally get it. I have no qualms with that. But I wouldn't care about it if they were pro-LGBTQ either, because they serve chicken. I don't give a fuck what their political take is. It's the same thing with people who either love or hate athletes for their political views. I'm like, why do you care? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about 9 times out of 10. So why do you care what they say?
Just look at Kyrie Irving. That's all he needed to know.
So that might be, again, maybe I'm in the wrong for that. I'll concede that that's not the best take, but it's the way I feel. So I'm putting it out there. We should probably get to sandwiches because we can knock a few of those out quickly because we've got Blimpie, we've got Subway, Quiznos, Firehouse.
Let me say one that you guys may not have had. It's the second one on that list there for a chicken, Bojangles. Holy crap. What an experience. It's only in the South. I've only had it twice in my life, and both times is some of the best chicken I've ever had. I would put it above Church's, Popeyes, anything.
It's a mighty big accusation putting it ahead of Popeyes.
I guess we're gonna do chicken now. Then fine.
No, we're gonna ignore Dave. We'll get to this argument later.
Fine. All right, we'll get to it later. But
we started now. It's too late.
Okay.
Time.
Well, I've never got to eat Bojangles, and again, as a person who loves Southern style chicken, I'm very intrigued by that. But I've never been able to eat it. And in the interim, I love Popeyes very, very much and want to put it as high as possible.
I could not disagree more. I don't hate Popeyes, but they're mediocre at best. I do not understand the Popeyes hype. The whole Popeyes chicken sandwich phenomena of 2020 or whenever that was, 2019, whenever that was one of the most overrated things ever. I could not believe how much people love it.
Chick-fil-A is better than that anyways in terms of a sandwich, so I don't know what the big deal was.
I don't know, but people were freaking out over it. It was the most bland chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life. Popeyes sides are actually stunningly good. The dirty rice, red beans, phenomenal.
As a person who loves Cajun food a lot, being able to have fast food, red beans and rice is a thing I really, really, really appreciate. And having the Cajun gravy on the mashed potatoes is so much better than anything KFC is going to spit out in terms of gravy. And again, I can't say definitively that Bojangles is worse or better. I would love to eat at it so I could know, oh shit, this is better than Popeyes. Sorry. It's just the type of chicken I like a lot more than the KFC.
I have Popeyes the highest of my chicken places because I haven't been to Bojangles. Fair. So I can't. I'm the same boat. I can't really rate it. So I'm going to put it underneath Bojangles and give Dave's respect here. I'm tempted to put KFC in F.
It's another place that I think has gone downhill. I've
said this before on the show. When it's on, goddamn, it's good. But more often than not, it's not.
What's funny is another one of those. It's on, it's good. Their mashed potatoes is the same way. Their mashed potatoes and gravy. Some days it's like, damn, this is really good. Other days, holy moly, it's too salty. Other days it's cold, and it's just like, what is going on here? Their mac and cheese, sometimes awesome, sometimes terrible.
I wish there was a hack. You know how there's a couple places where it's like you order something that's extra crispy and it forces them to make it and not use the stuff that's been sitting out. I guess maybe you could pull that off with the chicken from KFC, but it's not going to help the sides, which are also very sporadic. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of unfair in a way because I've had really good KFC, but like I kind of just want to put it in F because of its inconsistency.
Yep, I can.
I don't know. I mean, the last time I had
fried.
Last time I had really good KFC, I swear to God, probably like 10, 15 years ago. It's been so long.
Church's is a D for me.
I've never eaten there either. Because again, every time there's a Church's, there's also a Popeyes. So.
Yeah, Church's is fine.
You know what? Low C for Church's. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm indifferent towards Church's. It's fine. I would probably put Popeyes above it myself.
Well, it is, so that's good news.
I do feel like most of these chicken places, because we're probably going to get to it with Cane's, fast food chicken seems to do a hell of a lot better than fast food pizza, like as a whole overall industry.
Yes.
That almost all the chicken places are like, I can get decent food at most of them, versus I feel like almost all the pizza is pretty bad. Because I'm assuming you're going to put Cane's decently high right now.
I think I'd have it in high C, low B, probably.
Okay.
I'd be probably mid C for me. I think Cane's is. This is not the one that I was alluding to earlier, but Cane's hype did hurt my enjoyment of it with how much people loved it. First time I ever had it was in Vegas, and it was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
The first time I ever had Cane's, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yep. And so then after a while, people kept hyping up. And the only reason I even tried it again was because I had a free one through an ASU basketball ticket. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it. And their sauce is phenomenally good. Yeah. I will say their sauce is very, very good. And the second time I had it was better. So I tolerated it.
There's a big drop off for that one in terms of when you get a really bad box where your like strips have been sitting around for a while versus sit in the line for 8 minutes and wait till you get really, really fresh ones. And they're actually really thick and juicy and way better.
Yep.
Life hack, just order online. It's ready quickly and just pick it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just walk in, grab your bag, and leave. And that's usually the better route because I haven't really had a bad experience with it since I've done that.
Yep.
And I know it's like specifically very in and out like where it's very focused on its couple of menu item things. It is kind of a bummer because again, as we just discussed, part of why Popeyes is actually good is because it has a pretty good like set of sides that taste pretty good or are unique to it. And Cane's is, well, I'm going to get some French fries and some chicken and maybe.
Oh, no, that's Texas toast. Texas toast.
Bread.
Bread.
Okay, you're going to do sandwiches now, Dave.
Can I do sandwiches now, or do we need to talk about Bojangles some more?
I don't know. I've never had Zaxby's. I really would like to also try that since it's fast food.
I would like to try it as well, but I've not had it.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it before I saw this list. I have no idea. Most of these I've at least heard of. I've heard of Jollibee. I've heard of Swenson's. I have no idea what the fuck Zaxby's is. So sorry for Zaxby's fans out there, but we don't know. Blimpie, Firehouse, Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's, Subway.
Can I put them all in F? I hate fast food subs.
You may not put all of them in F.
You can't put them all in F because they're not all F worthy. Subway's bad.
Subway's
bad. Subway's definitely an F. I do say I used to eat at Subway with a high rate of frequency.
So did I.
It's gone now. Jersey Mike's is absolutely terrible.
I didn't really get the hype when they came here. I heard about like, oh, Jersey Mike's is coming, and I went there and I was like, eh.
It has a Philly cheesesteak, and as that being one of my favorite sandwiches, is like I think Jersey Mike's hot ones. Again, you got to eat it there and not take it to go because it doesn't hold up super well.
I'll put it in D.
Its hot sandwiches are nicer that it puts it over Jimmy John's and Subway to me because I can get some kind of variation. Which, weirdly enough, Firehouse was the opposite. It's almost all hot subs, and just this last week they're now starting to do cold subs randomly, which was never a thing they really did before, but they started like releasing them now.
You would think I would want to put Firehouse in F for Firehouse, but I don't. I want to put it in D.
I think it's very close to Jersey Mike's. It's very, very similar.
It's the second best on this grouping of subs that we have.
Are you
here.
gonna put Jimmy John's as the best one?
Hell no.
Okay, thank God.
Let's consider it an F. I think Sean wanted an F.
Jimmy John's
working there.
I didn't know he worked there. That's fine. I would put Jimmy John's slightly above Jersey Mike's, but I hate Jersey Mike's, so they're both F to me. So
I like Firehouse and Jersey Mike's more than I like Jimmy John's. I would probably eat Jimmy John's over Subway if I was forced to.
That's why I have them in that order.
I think that's exactly the way I would do that.
And then Blimpie.
Yep.
I've never eaten Blimpie.
I'd put it in at least C. At least C.
I won't go any higher than C, but I'll put it in C for you.
I was just, as far as the bread goes, I've found it to be the most, like the best bread out of the subs. It's usually pretty thick, pretty soft. The meats are solid. It's pretty simple overall, but I don't know. I like them.
Quiznos is down here, so is Schlotzsky's, so we might as well get to them too.
Never eaten either of them.
And I guess Panera is also kind of a sandwich place, sort of.
Panera's an F. I fucking hate them.
Wow.
Like, Panera's is also so overrated. I can't even begin to express it, and I've only eaten it a couple times.
Express to me how a restaurant that tries to be fancy.
You stuck Steak and Shake on there? I've eaten Steak and Shake. I didn't realize you put that on to Never Had.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I meant to. I think I meant to grab something else.
Skyline, I think.
Can't grab it on that screen. I'll put it back down here. We have a couple burger chains to get to yet.
Yeah. As far as which one were we talking? Which one were we just talking about?
And Quiznos.
Panera sucks. As far as a restaurant that tries to be fancy and overcharges for the food and is terrible food, Panera is the worst offender.
It's also not quick. I can't believe it's on this fucking list. Like the fact that I already complained like Habit's not on here. Panera is not faster than that at all. It's weird that it's fucking included on here.
Yeah, I don't understand it really either. I guess it's sort of akin to a Chipotle, but not really.
Chipotle's faster than them for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta really the extra hate from Panera comes when they bought out Paradise Bakery, and Paradise Bakery had one of the best fast food salads ever. Southwest.
You're not the first person I've heard bitch about this. Amazingly.
I'm so mad that they bought out Paradise Bakery because Paradise Bakery was good. Panera sucks.
I want to put Long John Silver in F real quick. Is anybody opposed to that?
I think 15 years ago I would have tried to argue with you to put it in D, but not anymore.
I want to say I've only had it once, and I like the idea of a fast food fish place because I like fish. But the problem is fast food fish is inherently an oxymoron, and so it's a problem.
Yeah. I have it down like here. It's bad.
I thought its Hush Puppies were okay when I ate them, and then I got Hush Puppies from other places, and I was like, oh no, those ones at Long John Silver's fucking sucked. Hush Puppies are just good by default. But yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, Quiznos and Schlotzsky's. Schlotzsky's I had recently. I had fond memories of it from when I was a kid. My mom used to like it quite a bit. I like their sourdough pizzas. I had it recently. It was terrible.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't had it in a long time. I have very good memories of Schlotzsky's, and their sandwiches were always some of the best.
From memories alone, I'm going to hope that it's what we talked about, where it's like sometimes it's just a bad night or a bad location. I'm going to put it in low C, but I was tempted to put it in D after what I had last time.
I never got the chance to try it. And now I don't know. Like there was one in the Excalibur in Vegas, and now it's gone for a Jimmy John's instead. And I never ate at it. So
I was gonna go recommend low B, so maybe we can do high C as a middle tier there.
I'll move it over there.
There you go.
For C for cafe, and Quiznos is fine. I'd have it above Jimmy John's, so I guess low C.
Low D.
I'm gonna put it with these other ones right there.
Yeah, I like that it's right behind the restaurant that replaced it here in Flagstaff.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I guess next we got to look at a couple more S candidates. I have Noodles and Company in, the best, not S in this list. Yep. I have Noodles and Company in the best.
It really doesn't have a comparison or a competition either.
No, it doesn't.
Interesting.
It's sort of unique, and that's part of why I took to it so much when I first discovered it in Colorado before it even came to this state, was because it was like, oh, wow, look at this menu of offerings, and it's still got that mid-tier pricing, but quick results. Like, there's a lot of different healthier options. There's not a ton of places on this list where there's like 6 or 7 different things in the menu I like. That's the case here.
Yep. Their Parmesan crusted chicken is some of the best chicken I've had. Like, it's stunningly good every single time. So yeah, noodles is definitely up on the best tier.
I will give it credit for, I think it does a decent job of trying to actually spice the international type of flavor stuff it has decently. It's not, the pho's not going to taste like pho you'd get from an actual pho restaurant.
No.
But it's not.
But it's a decent imitation.
Exactly.
I think it imitates things. You can get mac and cheese. You can get whatever. You can get spaghetti and meatballs.
And again, you're the one who obviously introduced me to it. And again, every time you're like, do you want to eat there? I'm like, yeah, sure. I know I can find something on there that I'm going to want to eat, and I'll be pretty happy with it.
They're also consistent.
Yeah.
Like, very few others on this list. I think I've had one bad time there, and that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, given the fact that I've ordered the same thing, I think like 6 out of the 8 times I've been there, I feel like it's tasted pretty much the exact same way every single time I've gotten it.
I have one more controversial pick for the best, and this one is not going to get to stay there at the group, and that's Five Guys.
Five Guys sucks. They're the overrated one I was talking about. I cannot stand them.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Once it wasn't In-N-Out and what was left down here, I was like, this isn't going to work.
It's just, I do not understand the hype. They are not better than In-N-Out to me. The peanuts are weird. They're fine, I guess, but like, their burger is overpriced, not that great.
I think the biggest catch, I would say, and I think this is they're not the only ones that are guilty of this, but for a fast food place, you really fucking need to eat it there. I just feel like if you're gonna, and Chris obviously isn't gonna be in this category because he's not gonna put a bunch of toppings and shit on it like a lot of other people who are gonna do that at Five Guys. But I feel like if you top it with some stuff, it gets really gross and not so good if you take it home and eat it significantly later.
Which is the same reason I didn't do that shit with Subway either.
Exactly.
Same problem. With people like, well, I want the value, and they put 97 toppings on it, and then it's a weighed down, jumbled mess. Yeah. What happened? You put 97 toppings on it.
I've eaten Five Guys, I think, twice because I've opted to go to a handful of the places on this list instead of it. Again, I mean, Dave, you wanted to like be like in B or the best, and I'm probably like a low C, high D, which I think is still higher than Dave.
Five Guys would be F for me.
Oh God, you really hate it.
Well, that's right in the middle then.
Fine.
Right in the middle, above McDonald's.
Because again, I'm probably gonna eat, even if I think In-N-Out's overrated, I'm probably gonna eat In-N-Out over Five Guys every time if they were like sitting right next to each other.
Well, I will eat Five Guys over McDonald's though. So there's.
Well, guess what?
In-N-Out
just ahead of it.
Some people would have In-N-Out in the best. I'm not one of them.
It's the best. It's absolutely the best.
To have this opinion about Five Guys and then come back with In-N-Out's the best when they have the most overrated fries in the history of existence is really an interesting take.
I love their fries. Are you kidding me?
Now, if you get them animal style or something, fine. If you gussy them up, but those fries straight up are the most generic fries in existence, which makes sense why Dave likes them because he's the most generic man in existence.
You gotta order them extra.
That's what Sean would say if he was here, so I'm just channeling his spirit.
Don't embody him. That's not okay.
You're like, I'm free for a week. Don't bring him into this.
I feel like you got to get them extra crispy. That's
they're better.
You have to do.
That's an improvement, sure.
I do like simplicity. I will say I don't call that simple, really, but they're potatoes that are fried well. You get them extra crispy, they're even better. You put some salt on them, they're fantastic. I don't know what's wrong with
I will say this: worker experience, speed of order given traffic because they are so beloved, and price are all factors in In-N-Out's favor. So even though I'm saying strong things against them, it's more out of bitterness about the Five Guys result than anything else. I don't have them in F, but I also don't have them in the best because I think they're also wildly overrated.
It's that when I referred to potatoes don't taste very good by themselves when there's not much done to them, it's basically referring to In-N-Out. I mean, that's
like if In-N-Out had like Rally's fries, In-N-Out would be the best. But they don't. They have shit fries. If they took really overpriced milkshakes. If they found
some seasoning just by accident and seasoned them like one time for you, and you're like, oh shit, these are so much better.
Do you guys open the salt, like a salt packet, and pour it on? Because that's all you need. Like you just pour a little.
I shouldn't have to salt my own fries. They're supposed to salt them for me.
The fuck you aren't. You put the right amount of salt that you want.
They're supposed to salt them for me. Again, also every time I go to In-N-Out, I have not ordered regular fries from In-N-Out in like my life. I've got animal style fries every single time I go. Yeah. So, and which ends up being, I'm happy with their fries because I get them extra crispy and animal style, and I actually think they're pretty fucking good. So I don't have this problem. But I also eat In-N-Out not mostly on the go. I'm sitting there and eating it so I can eat my tray of goo fries.
I'm putting it in high B.
I was gonna say
for burger.
The burgers are fine and they don't taste terrible, and you can do some of the creative shit to make them taste better, like getting it also animal style and frying mustard into it and all that shit. I just think it's very funny that it's like people try it and they're like, "This is just a good fast food burger. I can find a better burger." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, you can find a better burger because it's fast food still."
But as far as fast food burgers go,
it tastes fresh. I actually think their buns always taste really good. It's the one weird thing that I've discovered. I'm like, oh, their bun has a nice flavor to it every single time and always tastes pretty nice and like better than everyone else.
Flagstaff's finally about to have one. We're going to have a third restaurant on Milton that spills out into the street on top of Chick-fil-A Raising Cane's. So that's going to be exciting for all the people on Milton. And again, I'm not anti-In-N-Out. I just think it's slightly overrated. So I'm fine with it being high B. I will not put it in the best.
It's probably a credit to of how good it is while being so overrated that it actually still is pretty good.
Yeah, that's just it. Overrated doesn't mean bad. That's a lot of people's misconception. It's just it's not rated properly. So that's fine. We got to go rapid fire through a few of these. I do want to address the ice cream in the room. I am now Culver's greater than DQ. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's fine. I would agree.
I would put DQ in D and Culver's in B, maybe, because not only is their ice cream better than Dairy Queen, but also their menu is if you do eat there.
Yes, it's better food than Dairy Queen for sure.
I would put Culver's in the best. Their burger, the meat part of their burger is probably the best on this list, I think. The way they cook their burgers are fantastic.
I have oddly eaten almost everything on Culver's menu, because we kept going there. We had coupons over and over again at my previous job, and it was one of our workers also worked there. So it was like, oh, let's go over there every single time. And I was like, let's try basically everything. And a couple of those burgers, because I would get the patty melt on the rye bread and all that and add some stuff to it. And it is, again, I would prefer to eat it there because it's a little greasy and gets a little soggy, but it's weirdly a very, very good fast food item that's super unique to most everything else.
The fact that I can get a Swiss and mushroom burger, which I would be scared at most fast food places, and it's really, really good at Culver's, I'm all right with.
Also,
it's really
as a thing I like a lot, chili cheese fries. The chili Culver's uses is like actual chili. It has like beans and everything in it, and they're on the fries, and it's also pretty good. I just don't go to Culver's as much because it's very out of the way where we live.
Yep.
And they're concrete mixers. As far as ice cream goes, they're concrete mixers. The stuff you can put in them, they're really
interestingly compared them to DQ, and I'd compare Culver's to Sonic in that type of category, and Culver's is
I can see that
much better than Sonic.
Well,
in
my head,
way.
the only reason I go to Culver's or Dairy Queen most of the time is a Blizzard or a concrete slab. I'm not going to eat there most of the time, so that's why they're related in my head. But you're right, Sonic has more overlap, which I suppose we can address. The last thing on Culver's, it's a small thing, but their cookie dough is soft.
Yep.
And the cookie dough in a Blizzard is frozen, and I thought that was a small but big revelation.
Yep.
Sonic would be an interesting one to hear Sean rate because he worked there. He'd probably be somewhat down on it, although I think he liked it at one point. I'd have it in like C.
It's got to be above Jack in the Box, which is an F anyway.
Sure.
There are no burgers in D to rate it from, but it needs to be behind Carl's Jr.
I would I'd be putting in the D to F range because the only redeeming quality they have is some of their drinks. Like the cherry limeade is really good.
And the half-off specials on some of the drinks and or shakes and malts and stuff in the summer is a cool touch, which is why I have them in like low C. But again, I'm not going there to eat. I'm only going there for those type of deals and specials.
The app has drinks half off at every moment all the time, which I think helps it a lot because if that's its big selling point, then at least it has a drink for half off all the time when you mix them with whatever weird shit. But I mean, Chris is right. I think I used to like it a bit more, and now I'm like, they have pretzels as a snack, and they're one of the only fast food places that has like a hot pretzel, and that's a unique weird thing. But that's like, I go there because I want to eat that weird snack with a drink, as opposed to eat their burger.
Their burgers are not good. Not good.
Are you dumping all the other things onto Never Had now?
Yeah, now that we have a tier that's broken the first line of containment, we might as well just
you can go Potbelly and Skyline. I'm assuming, right? Because
no, Potbelly we can get to talk about. I actually really, really, really like Potbelly. Okay. It's second to
place.
I feel like it's a fancier, nicer sandwich place than all those other ones. It's more like Schlotsky's type, right?
B or C?
I would put it. I'd say it's just behind Blimpie, but I also would put Blimpie at B. So
Well, we've never eaten at it, so you have to put it behind Blimpie.
I put it above Sonic, that's for sure.
Well,
there you go. Boom.
There you go. Yeah, Sonic's only going to barely hold on to C, so let's just be clear about that. It would be the last thing in C if it holds. Portillo's, let's address the elephant in the room.
That's the place that I saw the lines around. I've still yet to go. I've never been, never had a desire to go either.
Cody, tell the story.
So among my favorite food items in the world is an Italian beef sandwich. And they are a fast food place that basically specializes in an Italian beef sandwich. So I decided to pitch Sean and Chris on the idea of let's go to Portillo's in the middle of the pandemic because I can pull up cars like curbside, get my order, it'll already be ready, did the whole app thing. So I show up to the location we were near to come to find out curbside is no longer open. Portillo's, as Dave just said, has normally a terrible line in its drive-thru, especially around actual dinner time. I went last week, and thankfully it was middle of the day in 110-degree weather, so no one was there, and I got to eat my food immediately. I had to wait in the drive-thru line while my food was ready. Again, an Italian beef sandwich that has gravy dipping on it. So by the time I got my food in the long drive-thru line, as I'm just trapped, because again, it's not fast. It shouldn't be on this list. It's worse than Panera in terms of speed, because it's a sit-down restaurant that has a drive-thru for some reason, basically. I don't know what else to say. It's not really that quick. So safe to say, Sean and Chris basically got their first experience with a shit, awful version. And I think Chris still got a plain-ass hot dog anyway, but a cold hot dog is still bad.
Yeah, it was probably 50 minutes by the time you got home.
Yeah, and I think it was long. I mean, that might be. I swear to God, it was an hour.
It could have been. I'm not really factoring in was it from when you left to when you came back, but it was.
Or was it when I texted you bitching that I'm stuck?
I think it was something like it was an hour by the time we started eating from when your order was supposed to have been ready.
Yes.
Like you put it in and it said, "Oh, it'll be ready at this time." So you're like, "Cool, I'll drive over." And then it was an hour after that when you got back with it. So nothing was good.
It's COVID. They didn't do curbside for whatever. It'd have been good to know that. It's a one really bad experience for that location facing a bunch of shit while it's really busy. And that was a bummer. But when it's good, which again, I just had it the other day, it's really fucking delicious. I can't speak to anything other than Italian beef because I've never ordered anything else on the menu other than that and fries, which are also crinkle cut fries, over and over and over again.
I put it in C.
Again,
it should be an F for me, but I'm only 0 for 1, and that's not really fair because I've heard really good things about it. And like you said, I don't really think we went for the right method to begin with. Now, the fact that it went so horribly wrong is another story.
Oh, it's on me. It was my decision, and then realizing this.
All right, let's knock these last few out quickly, and we'll get out of here. Whataburger, I find to be really overrated.
I freaking love Whataburger.
Wow.
It's overpriced is the only problem.
I've been advised to not eat at it because it sucks by everyone I've ever met. Except for you, apparently.
It's one of the better burgers out there. The problem is that it's very expensive. That's the only issue I have with it.
Flax Bastos get one of those too one day. Get on the corner, not that far from In-N-Out. So we'll see.
As far as just a pure burger goes, very, very, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
This is surprising since again, everyone has said how bad it is, and the one weird thing is I feel like I've looked at the commercials and it doesn't look appetizing sometimes on its commercials. I'm like, that actually doesn't look good. I don't really like In-N-Out looks great every time on a commercial. It tricks me. It's like, you should absolutely eat this burger.
I feel like Subway looks great sometimes.
Exactly. Too. And I just feel like Whataburger has not looked that delicious when I've seen it in commercials.
Crazy dog.
But I've never eaten it, so I'm only hearing bad things. So I can't judge it and say it's belongs.
I had it recently while I was in Texas, which, is like the home of Whataburger, and it was just very mediocre.
Man, I've not had bad experiences.
Boston Market I haven't been at in about 20 years.
Me either.
Did frozen dinners count?
Sure. I like a good rotisserie chicken. I'm tempted to put it in B for Boston Market, but I don't think it deserves to be that high.
I've never eaten at it other than frozen dinners.
I remember back in the day it was Boston Chicken, and it was like one of those whoa, you can get like fast food that's like home style-ish type. And then when it became Boston Market and got bought out, it went way downhill. So yeah, it's not that great. I'd probably put it in D.
In D it goes. Panda Express is a D.
I love Panda.
I love Panda.
It's so fattening. That's the problem.
It is the fast food place I've been the steadiest customer at for more than my entire life, basically. That I always go back to, no matter what it has done wrong to me. I just always go back, but that's because I love Chinese food or the Americanized version of it.
So here's my problem with it is that when I worked at the mall back in 2006, when I was in college, I ate so much Panda Express. Like we got mall discounts. It was right there outside in the food court. I got Panda Express probably every day.
Was it
I got
next
like
to
the
Sbarro's?
3-item combo, more than Sbarro. Yeah, because Sbarro sucks. But I got like the 3-item combo, which is too much food. I realized later once I started like understanding what calories were that I was probably eating 3,000 calories at least.
No, you're fine.
So, and then all of a sudden, I was 240 pounds. I'm like, that's weird. And so I cut it out of my diet a lot, and it helped. But I eat there infrequently, but still, I have very fond memories. So I'd probably put up in B.
See,
myself,
I'm going to argue my own point because I ate it last week, and the fried rice is different, and it's not as good as it used to be. I don't know what they did. It tastes blander, and it's like not as fried, and the flavor's not there. Maybe they tried to make it healthier, which fuck you, just make it terrible. I don't care. Add all the sodium of the soy sauce when you fry it. It's just not as good. And they messed with the fried rice during COVID. I know they did because they admitted it and said we're changing this. There was no egg in it for a while. I just have to put it squarely in C because it's right around those places.
The question is, how is the orange chicken still? Like,
I never get orange chicken, amazingly enough.
Really?
I get like almost everything else on the menu because the orange chicken's fine, but I always want to try something else.
See, the problem was that when I used to get it and it was really good, the orange chicken was big chunks, very saucy, very good. And then when it kind of went downhill a little bit, it was like these tiny little bready chunks. And when it's bready chicken, no, thank you. I don't like any of that.
I think that's that's why one reason I don't get that because I get a lot of the things where the meat is not breaded or it can't be hidden in that way.
Yeah.
I'm not using my power to push it lower. I want to like Panda Express. Every time I've been, it has not been very good. And I want to like it, but I just had not had an experience that matches that. So that's fair. I'm sorry. I have Wiener Schnitzel in B.
I can't comment, so I will have to trust you.
We don't have one anymore. We haven't for a long time, but we have a building that's shaped like an old Wiener Schnitzel.
This is another place that one of my best friends worked in high school, and I got in-list free or very, very discounted food, and that shit hit the spot every goddamn time.
Putting it in B. It can't go in the best.
Chris and I have randomly eaten at it, I think, twice while we've been down around Phoenix because it's there and it's easy to get, and I still think its corn dogs are better than Sonic's. Its hot dogs are better than Sonic's. It's better than Sonic.
Yeah.
Which is its closest competitor I can see here in terms of fast food with hot dogs because Portillo's doesn't really count in that category.
No, and relatively cheap.
Yes. But
at least by today's standards.
I also, again, they have very bland, plain fries that are salted correctly without me having to fucking do anything to them. And that passes pretty well.
Yeah, I don't salt my own French fries. Although I will say there are also people who salt the McDonald's French fries, and they're psychopaths.
Those are psychopaths. Actually, no. Which is more a psychopath? Someone that salts McDonald's French fries, which are heavily salted already, or those when I worked there who asked for no salt, and then I had to clean the fry machine out to then pour a new bucket of fries.
That shouldn't be an option.
That shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to match.
You're going to fast food. You're getting fucking sodium.
The customer is always right.
No, they're wrong. So you haven't mentioned it. Where is Wiener Schnitzel on the internet? Because I feel like it's going to be a never had.
Oh, yeah, I was going to kind of go over those at the end just to save time. It's a never had.
Okay, that's what I figured. Because
so there's Schlotzsky's, which we now know because Arizona has a few of them, but that is not across the country. We'll talk about those at the very end. Last few, just to go through them. I've never been to Wingstop.
Neither have I.
Hate it.
Everybody seems to hate it. It seems like the Pizza Hut of wings.
I feel like people hate eat it. Like it's a wing place. It's fast food, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, I got it, but something."
No, I have never had a worse experience with chicken wings because the one time I've had Wingstop, and okay, I've had it a few times, but I remember one time stands out where I took a bite of Wingstop, took a rather large bite, and got no chicken. It was all breading, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Well, it's convenient you placed it with Pizza Hut because Wingstop doesn't it connect or sell through Pizza Hut at times?
Some of them do, yeah.
It's terrible.
All right, we have 3 burger places left to wrap things up, and they're all sort of like mid-tier burger places, kind of.
I mean, I love one of them, but it's as bottom tier as you can get.
Well, I just mean like they regard themselves as like a step.
Well, they're not.
Well, we have Shake Shack, Steak and Shake, and White Castle down here.
Shake Shack, fucking terrible and way overpriced, and would love to pretend it's In-N-Out, and it's fucking not.
I've had it once. It was fine. I'm
gonna put it in D.
You know what's amazing for a place called Shake Shack is its shakes are mediocre, and I can get a better one in and out for way cheaper. And it's what bugs the shit out of me more than anything. It's again the hipster. This is so fucking cool. Look at this great, delicious place. And every time I've eaten it, I swear to God, its burgers have shrunk and shrunk and shrunk, and they're like a fucking little tiny circle at this point. But I get nothing out of it to where I'm like, I don't understand why this is so amazing. I think again they also have crinkle cut fries. So many places that chose to do that, and I'm like, maybe be a little more original at this point because it's not actually original anymore.
Yeah, what are you, Del Taco?
Yes,
Steak and Shake's good.
Steak and Shake is good. It is smash burgery if I remember right. In the one time I've eaten it, but it was also another like. I don't really know that this is fully fast food because I would rather sit there and wait for it to come up and then eat it while I'm there.
Yeah, it's another borderline one.
But its burger is better than Sonic, who I'm looking up in the C section if that's what I'm comparing it to.
I don't know. I was thinking B.
I was
lowest
like,
B.
It probably should be around there because I'm probably gonna. Again, I like Habit a lot, and it's kind of a similar Habit type restaurant, so it probably should be up there.
And White Castle?
Have you guys never had White Castle?
So no, I haven't. They built one in Scottsdale recently.
I have been to it multiple times now.
So I've always kind of wanted to go, but I've been told that the only way to really truly enjoy it is to gamble all night, get really drunk, and then eat it. And I haven't done that.
So you haven't wandered out to the one in Casino Royale across from the Mirage on the Las Vegas Strip?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
So my significant other loves White Castle, I think more than almost any fast food place that exists, and convinced me to try it one time while we were in Vegas. I can't think of a more fucking inconsistent place that exists from holy shit did I just eat like dog shit basically versus oh my god what an innovative idea. The thing is, to start off, if you don't like the taste of onion, you are never ever going to want to eat White Castle, as its tiny little burgers are grilled on a bed of onions and taste like oniony powder onion everythingness. They have weird shit, again, because I like chicken in weird shapes. They have chicken rings, which really shouldn't be a thing, right? There's not like a ring of chicken on anything.
I was aware of those.
Those are delicious. I've tried every version of a slider. I've had a fish slider from there. I have had a surf and turf where it's a burger and a piece of fish on a double stack of sliders.
Oh, yeah, those are fun.
And I don't know, man. Like, I think, again, Dave's explanation of be drunk or be high or be out of your mind or whatever and eat this and experience just everything that it has to offer is probably the correct thing. They have a good app and you can get very good deals in their app because they're a little overpriced. A slider shouldn't be like $2 and change. Like, let's be real. But it is, I don't even know how to rank it because one day it can be an F and one day I legitimately would put it in B. Probably not the best, but up to B.
Wow.
That's my monologue. Yeah, you need to try it because I mean, I don't know what to say. It's so much better than Sonic. It's definitely so much better than Sonic, but I don't know if I can say it's absolutely better than like Whataburger, which I've never eaten. I do feel like A&W is starting to feel out of place.
Yeah, A&W needs to move down here by Sonic. We can adjust this now that we're at the very end here as we wrap things up.
Just please try White Castle, and I want to hear everyone's opinion. It's like the Waffle House of burgers because I feel like it's just weird.
Do I need to treat this like a real science experiment where I need a control group where I have it completely sober and just have it?
Absolutely, and also do not drive it home. That shit will not hold up.
Okay, eat it there, got it.
You need to roll up in the drive-thru, and as soon as they put it into your hands in the drive-thru, already have a slider in your mouth while it's as hot as it possibly can be.
Like, my hand is out the window getting the bag, and then be like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
You already have opened one. It's like when you go to McDonald's and you immediately take a fry out of the bag.
Yes, absolutely.
But a whole fucking slider should be pulled out of the bag.
So you can see our list here if you're on the video side. Are we making any adjustments?
I still want Chipotle higher, but I'm fighting an uphill battle. Wiener Schnitzel.
There, I moved it up one.
You don't have an opinion on Wiener Schnitzel. You don't even know.
I didn't. It's crazy to me that high, but I've never had it, so I can't.
Chris and I are biased, and we've eaten it twice, and it's been really good the last 2 times we ate it. And I was, again, under the influence multiple times in high school, eating it over and over again, and it was fucking delicious. So fuck off.
It hit the spot the 2 main times I've been there recently.
Yeah.
And Cody was there for one of them.
I'm a little disappointed with Del Taco. I have lots of fond memories in my heart for Del Taco.
Yeah, the problem is now.
Here's the thing. I think
Like again, memories wise, Wendy's would be the best, but
I think
not now.
At current status, I feel like I'd rank Del Taco over Sonic now. Looking at this though,
I would.
I would swap those two.
Yes, you could swap them on the
All
back
right,
end.
we'll put Sonic on the top of D and Del Taco on the bottom of C.
But now is Dairy Queen actually worse than Sonic? Is its ice cream and food worse than what Sonic has to offer?
No, Dairy Queen is much better than Sonic.
So now Dairy Queen should go over Sonic.
Now, see, here's the thing: Shake Shack is actually better.
I hate Shake Shack, but I don't know how to rank those two.
Yeah.
So the real thing with Del Taco, they're chicken soft tacos. For what they are, you get a little bit of shitty chicken in there and some cheese and lettuce, and they're soft.
It's like you're talking about the Thursday night deal, right? Yeah. The sauce that goes on those.
It's phenomenal. It's so good.
I don't have a comparison. Like honestly, I feel like the closest thing to that sauce is fucking cane sauce. If I'm being honest, like in terms of a flavor, I don't know what to really compare it to. But you're right. Those Thursday night little tiny grilled chicken ones, I've eaten multiple times.
3 for like $2.50. Yeah, I'm good. It sounds great. So, no,
we'll have to wrap things up, or we'll never be able to hear you.
Yeah, I can't complain. With our
I like that the best has a diner type one, a taco, a chicken, another weird one, and kind of a burger place. Again, I think like fast food burgers are pretty hard to do consistently well because Culver's is up there for not just burger reasons.
Mike Schaefer, maybe you joined late. Maybe you did block out. Taco Bell is phenomenal as value. You missed it. You missed the talk. Like, I just don't understand how is Taco Bell good. It's delicious. That's the thing. They take what they have and combine it in multiple ways to make excellent food. And you want a burrito for $2? It's there. And it's delicious.
With Wendy's no longer as cheap with a 4 for $4 as it used to be, and also kind of dipped in quality, what on here could you even make the argument that for a value than like Taco Bell's Cravings box is a better deal? I don't even love its food necessarily, but I can't find anything on there that I can define without using the app and cheating the system and all that shit. I can't find anything that I can absolutely say is better.
The only thing I can even come close is the fact that you can make a Chipotle bowl rather large and make it into 2 meals, and it reheats pretty well. That's maybe the only value that you can get, is that you can kind of get 2 meals out of it. But other than that, no.
So our 5 in the best: Waffle House, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Noodles & Company, Culver's. We have a B tier that doesn't really feel like our strongest B tier ever, at least on the backside. But
yeah,
Arby's, In-N-Out, Wiener Schnitzel, Checkers / Rallies, Bojangles, Popeyes, Wendy's, Baja Fresh, El Pollo Loco, and Steak and Shake. A very loaded C and D tier. In F, there's Jack in the Box, Jimmy John's, KFC, Subway, Panera, Wingstop, Pizza Hut, Long John Silver's, Burger King, and Denny's is dead last, where it will remain forever. We had like 14 we hadn't heard of. Most of them are just not in this area, so sorry about that. The group list, to circle back, their best 7: Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, Five Guys, Popeyes, Taco Bell, Domino's. So
it's the most popular brands basically. Like it's just, here we put the 2 main burger ones, here we put the main taco one, like.
Yeah, whereas you kind of mentioned a minute ago, and I was distracted corralling dogs, but I like that we basically have one of each type up there. Yeah. It's not, Taco Bell's the best, but also Del Taco's the best. No, you only get one in the best.
Yes, that's how it should be. I mean, we probably could put an actual burger place, depending on, again, how you rate Culver's, but I don't think any of them are worth it anymore.
No. Yep.
There's nothing else on the list I think should be in the best.
No. I
think that tier is great.
And I love Arby's, but I'm never going to argue that it needs to be in the absolute best one.
Yeah, because you can catch Arby's on a bad day. Not nearly as often as some other ones that we mentioned, but when you do,
yeah, I could argue it. I won't, but I could.
Well, sure, you could argue a lot of things. I could argue Five Guys is up there, but
you
guess
won't.
What? Some people just don't like French fries overflowing.
I do like how
bag.
We bitched about inconsistency, and then I tried to praise White Castle for just how, like, you never know what you're going to get. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen to you?
That's like the KFC experience. It's just more often than not KFC's bad. So even though you can get amazing KFC, it gets weighed down by the fact that it's usually not good. White Castle feels like a true roulette table where it's just like, I don't know.
It's fun. That
could be good, could be bad, and it could be 00. We don't even know what that is.
I actually have to tell a real quick story about KFC, just because I didn't get a chance to earlier. But I had it for lunch probably 15, 20 years ago during a work lunch break. And I remember I ate it in the restaurant, sat down, ate the chicken. I had just like a 2-piece chicken meal with a couple sides, ate the whole thing, and then all of a sudden my stomach was like, I don't feel so great. Okay, no, I'm not really. I feel good. I walk into the bathroom, puke it all up. I'm like, how the hell did I get sick off this? I didn't even feel that bad. Puke it all up, and I felt fine afterward. And then I was like, well, damn it, my lunch break is over. Now I'm hungry, but my lunch break is over. So KFC, man, it didn't make me feel sick, but I threw up for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't know what happened.
It was the big pot of grease that you had just ingested sitting in your stomach.
Yeah.
And your body was like, fuck off. What are you doing to me?
Kind of, yeah, probably.
That's why the Colonel's smiling, because he knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
Well, as always, you can let us know what you think about our tier list in the comments down below. I'll take a picture of it. We should post these somewhere eventually where I've got here's all of our tier lists and then we can look back on them, and that'll be more content 5 years from now where we go, let's look at the tier list and decide what's changed.
How has it changed in our minds and in the quality?
Yeah. One of these restaurants probably won't be around in 5 years. Guess which one?
Panera.
Long John Silver's.
Boston Market.
Long John Silver's. That's my bet.
Yeah, I don't know why Long John Silver's is still around even now, so that's a fair one. It's certainly losing locations.
That's probably why.
I guess, yeah, because that's what people really want is to combine the two.
And they got kicked out. They got kicked out of ours here in Flagstaff. It doesn't exist anymore.
They did, yeah.
That was one near my house too, actually. So they're on their way out.
That was the one where I ate it. It was horrific. I almost wanted to put it below Burger King's. At least at one point, I am going to do that. Fuck it. At least at one point, I liked Burger King. There we go.
I was looking at that and I'm like, really? Long John Silver's is like...
Yeah, no, I mean, look.
The internet picks on Arby's and the internet also picks on Long John Silver's, and one of them is deserved.
One doesn't. And look, we don't quibble a ton over the placement of these on the tier lists. It's more about just each level and not the left to right, but it still is nice to kind of give them an order. Like Chipotle should be above Del Taco, and they're on the opposite ends of the C spectrum. So, all right, that's the end of the episode. I'll take a picture of the tier list. We'll put them out there somewhere at some point. But as always, thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Sean will not be. He's dead. So he doesn't get a say in this tier list or whatever else we do next. In between episodes, you can find us at our website, objectionnetwork.com or youtube.com/objectionnetwork, where you can follow along with these tier lists as they're happening. We'll see you next time.